Another backpacking trip, just a quick overnight. I'm becoming addicted to these because they're super easy to plan and they're easy to do, and it still leaves time in the weekend for me to do other things that I need to do. So it is actually the perfect combination. I am at Lost Maples State Natural Area. So far it is very beautiful. It's not hot today. It's like 72, but it is humid, my word. But there is a nice breeze, and you know, it's, if you can see, it's partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. West trail, east trail to the ponds. Traces. Arrow. Straight ahead is the ranger residence. Man, how do I get that job? I'd love to live out here. That'd be awesome. This is magical, y'all. This is ground. It's like a slab of rock, but it's got all these holes in it. That is so interesting. I don't know if you can see how smooth that rock is on the video, but it's like a bowl. So my assumption is that water runs through here, and that would be like a kind of like a waterfall area, and then it keeps going that way. It would be interesting to see this after a rainstorm. They do have signs when you come into the park saying this place does flood, so keep going. Oh, riverbed goes up that way, but the trail goes here to the right. This is such a cool canyon. It's like around every turn here there's something cool, like a formation of rocks. Look at that. The ranger at the front desk said site area A is the most popular and it'll be the most crowded because it's easiest to get to. So I said, nah, I'm good with that one. Skip that one. And then she said B has got the best view of the sky, also very popular. And then she said, but if you want to work a little bit, she said, go out to F. So I think we're gonna check out F. Another thing, they warned me at the visitor center that there was like 0 water out here, but that's actually not true. I don't know if they meant like filtered water or like water spigots, but there's a solid pool of water down in there, and I'm like a mile and a half in. I have a water filter, so primitive area D is this in there. Huh. Looks like it goes quite a ways in there, but I'm gonna keep going. But that's good to know. So this right here is the part of the map that they have marked steep. I had to stop for a minute. I'm out of breath and my legs are jelly. But so I do CrossFit 3 to 4 times a week, and I try not to do it on Fridays because of this. I either hike to spend the night out on Friday night to Saturday, or I go hiking all day Saturday. So I try on Friday to give my legs a rest so they're fresh. No, today I got up and I'm like, ooh, I really like the workout they're gonna do. I'm gonna go to CrossFit because it's gonna be all upper body, so I'll be good to go. Yeah, it was fine the first half of the workout until the coach said, get on the bikes. So yeah, my legs have already been smoked once today. So back there is the junction with a bench and a map and a pit toilet restroom. I didn't get too close to it because there was somebody in it. And now I'm on a service road that's gonna go out to camping area F. Primitive F. Fantastic views. So within the primitive area, these are what the little campsites look like. That's cool. That's really nice. I'm gonna go see what else is here, but this is the first one. There's another place in there. I decided to keep going. So I left Primitive Site Area F. Went back to where that junction was and the restroom. Now I'm gonna go check out, I think it's Site Area E. Just to be clear, there was nothing wrong with the Site Area F. It was just too early to quit. Primitive camping E. So site right there. Site over here. I think there's a site. Yep, in there. And there's a site in there. I don't know what I want to do. I gotta decide. I stopped and I chugged some water and I feel like I want to continue. So the sun came out and it instantly got hot. We are going to keep going this way. I think we're going to go down. Well, it says this is steep going down and it would be correct. That was rough on the feet. That was very rocky. It just keeps going down. I made it to the bottom of that. That was rough. There is water in here. I mean, for sure, 100% would need to filter that because it's stagnant and it's got a lot of algae in it, but it's water. So if you have a filter, it's not completely dry out here. It's more water. No, some of it's running. It's not completely stagnant. These rock formations again. That is super cool. West Loop Trail 2.5. And then that goes, eventually connects to the East Loop Trail. I want to go that way to Primitive Area G. Check that out, and if I don't like that, I'll go to H. It's like just completely flat rock. Not completely flat, but that's cool. It's a little easier to walk on than back there where it was real rocky. Primitive Camping Area G. Just like all of this in here, I'm assuming. There's some stuff in here too. So, Primitive Area G, what I just showed you in the video when I panned a little bit on the first part of the camping area, that's a nice area, but if you go a little further on the right, there's this fantastic spot with some pretty good views. If I get to H and it's nice, I will take it. If it's not, I will come back to G. A little bit of a confusing sign. Which way is it? It's creek bed, which I don't mind, but this is what I'm talking about, these rocks. Super rough on the feet. I'm really curious if I will see anyone else out here tonight, because on the Texas Reserve America site, a lot of permits for this were taken. There were still quite a few available, but I think they said something like 50 groups can come out here on any given night. But it's spread out, so 50, there's plenty of room for 50. You have to work a little bit to get out to them, and this one for sure, H, I'm not only walking distance, but I've done one climb up, one climb down, and I'm gonna have to do another climb up here in a minute. That's so cool. I love that. Whew. I made it up that climb towards Primitive Area H. And it wasn't that steep, but I'm out of energy for the day. Primitive Camping area H. Let's see if this is any good, guys. This is it. I'm smoked. No more. No, this is really nice. I'll show you it in here in a second. Just, you can put tents really anywhere in this area and probably out over there. And then put my stuff here. All these sites have fire rings, but there's no fires allowed. But there's charred wood in there, so people are not following directions. And I'll probably put my tent right there. It looks like a nice tent pad. I got my tent set up. I think I said on my last trip, my last video, that I had put a hole in my CNOC bag. And so I save all of my patch kits when I get a sleeping mat. I have quite a few from sleeping mats or sleeping pads that I don't have anymore, but I have found this stuff makes a really good patch for pretty much anything. And it's not waterproof, but it's water resistant enough that even if this gets wet, it's not just gonna fall off. I have a question for my YouTube friends. What does this? Like, I don't know if you can see it that well, but the dirt is just churned up. And it's like, I was like, more over there. Like, they've ruined two really good tent pads, whatever it is. I know in Oklahoma, it's wild pigs that'll do this. Like, they'll just tear this up. But, I don't know, do they have the wild pigs here that do that? Or is it something else? The armadillos? For dinner tonight, I'm having one of my all-time favorite meals. I love mushrooms, so anything with mushrooms is great. But this one's really good. Mushroom risotto, good to go. It does have a decent calorie count, so 410, which is fine, and then 13 grams of protein. I didn't bring anything to add to this, but I do have a bar to eat with it if I'm still hungry, which I might be after all the hiking I did today. So yummy. If you don't like mushrooms, this would be terrible. But if you like mushrooms, this is a really good one. I'm also going to mention that I did not have self-service anywhere else in this park except for at this campsite. So campsite H has AT&T service. Also, it got chilly. The clouds came in again, and the wind all of a sudden, I mean, I had to put on my long sleeve shirt because I was sitting here like, ooh, it's not 90 degrees. So not complaining, but it was a little bit of a surprise. I am so comfortable. It's not hot, so I can snuggle up in my quilt. And I got my long underwear on. Like, it's not that cold. It's very comfortable. I don't know what the temperature is now. My self-service is not strong enough anymore to get a temperature update, but it is probably below 60 degrees, which is fantastic. If it gets any colder, I mean, I'll still be fine. I got my fleece, and I'm always prepared. I've learned that's important. Even in hot climates, you still might need a fleece to stay comfortable. So, and long underwear. So, but no, this has been great. I 100% recommend this place. This has been awesome. I'll say more about that when I finish tomorrow. I will have thoughts on that, because I do have thoughts on that. Of course I do. Oh, and there's nobody else here, so it is very quiet. I don't think there will be either. I don't think anybody's going to come in at midnight. All right. Good night. Good morning. I don't know what the temperature is, but it is cold. For breakfast this morning, I'm trying West Memphis grits souffle from Packet Gourmet. This was a winner. This was really good. So I'm being a total wuss this morning because it's really not that cold. I'm complaining about it. I shouldn't be. This is not the coldest I've ever camped at. So I will say this. A trip like this highlights how important it is that you take the 10 essentials with you when you go out in the backcountry. It would be very easy out here to think, oh, Texas, hot. Oh, yesterday, it wasn't even really that hot, but I was sweating buckets to think, ooh, shorts and a t-shirt, we're good. No, if I'd had just shorts and a t-shirt this morning, seriously, it becomes a hypothermia risk, even at these temperatures, because like taking down my tent, I got soaked. The wind is cold. It's not a good combination, and I'll be fine. You know, I have all the things I need, but if you didn't have the things you needed and you ended up getting wet and then you have colder temperatures and you have a wind chill, yeah, that's a recipe for not a good time. One last look at my site. This was a really great spot. So if you're thinking about coming out here, Lost Maples, primitive site area H. I didn't talk about yet if I forgot anything or had any gear failures on this trip. I forgot my tripod again. That's kind of a common one. I don't always remember that one because I use it for other things and then I forget to put it back in my stuff. But I forgot my cooler cloth, which for those of you who don't know, it's just a pee rag, whatever. Not a big deal. I had other ways to take care of that. That's it. I didn't forget anything else, so that's good. The only gear failure I have had is one of my Injinji toe socks. I finally blew a hole in one of the toes, so I have a second pair with me here, but I didn't want to change it out, so I'll just wear it, but my toe's poking through. Feels awkward. I have over 300 miles on these pair of socks, so I ain't mad about it. This is what I was talking about yesterday at the campsite. So the dirt is all churned up, like over there, both sides of the trail. Back at this sign. So that's the loop. And that goes back down past primitive area G and onward. I'm back at tent area G. And there's people. Primitive camp area G. And we keep going. Back at this junction. Sub trail. Just gonna do a whole thing of that. And then right back at the sign. I came from there yesterday. And today we're gonna go this way. One of the things I am really enjoying about this park are the rock features. It's really beautiful. It's just really dramatic. And then I keep going this way. It really opens up here. And it goes up this way. I gotta climb out of here a little bit. Service road. So if you were to go up this, it would take you to primitive area F. It's not an official trail, but it would take you there. There's a lot of algae in that water. You still filter it, but it probably tastes a little green. The road climbed up out of the canyon. I mean, it's just down there, but up a little ways now. Well, that's why we didn't stay in the canyon. Definitely couldn't have walked through that. Cross this. It's not a bridge, but kind of. Day use only. So this is what used to be primitive camping area C. It's still area C. You can't camp here anymore. It's got some picnic tables. Be a fun place to just come have a picnic lunch. There's a restroom. Heck yeah. Portions of this trail are steep and rugged. The next 1.5 miles, bring it on. Let's go. Climb wasn't too bad. It is steep though. At the top of that climb, primitive area B. We're gonna go check this out really quick. Primitive area B, I think. I didn't go any farther. There's lots of people. The lady at the visitor center was correct. Very popular. It's got new sprouts on it. The rest of it looks trashed, but the green one has new growth. So this part of the trail just kind of walks along this ridge. Another map sign. Overlook is that way. Trail dead ends at Overlook, 1/3 of a mile. So that's the Overlook. And this is just another spot, but it's pretty much the same view. Way back to that junction. That did not feel like 0.6. I know phones don't capture how steep things are usually, but that just goes down. Yeah, I had to be on all fours coming down that. So it's steep. It's steeper than the other side. And it just keeps going down. They put stairs on this stretch. Go all the way down around. Yep, got to the bottom. Had a totally different vibe to it as soon as I stepped in here. Oh, this is a grotto. Snuck up on me. So big I can't even get it in the frame. But it hangs over pretty good. It goes that way. So cool. Primitive camping area A. There's the restroom. So a lot of sites in area A. A lot of people, so I didn't video a lot, but lots of options. Another huge rock wall. Monkey Rock. Okay. I can see it does look like a monkey. Maple Trail. Okay, East Trail. So I did the whole East Loop. Return. Trailhead parking. Back to the parking lot. But I gotta walk to the other parking lot. So yesterday I did between 5 and 6 miles. My watch cut off at some point for a period of time yesterday, but with all my little side quests, it was 5 to 6 miles to primitive area H. And then today I pretty much did the whole outer loop. I pretty much have done every trail out here except for 1.5 miles of the west loop, which I skipped this morning. And then there's a couple connector trails I didn't get. But I got the bulk of it out here, even the little side quests to the Overlook and a few other things. And I think today it was like 6.7 miles today. More than I expected to do this weekend. But fantastic place. I need to try to look at my calendar to see if I can come back here again because I want to camp up at site or area B. I think that would be really incredible just to be up there, even though there are lots of people, lots of tents. I can see why it's so popular, but it'd be fun to do that. I don't know if I'll be able to, but highly recommend this place. This is awesome. It is another good place to really kind of get your backpacking experience under you, but it's a little harder. Actually, it's a lot harder than Llano River State Park. Llano River State Park is like beginner. This one's not beginner. Especially if you're going far or you're going up any of those climbs. If you're going to primitive area A, yeah, then you don't have to work very hard to get there. So that's an easy one. But if you want to go any farther to any of the other ones, you got to work. So, but it's a good place to practice. It's a good place to, you know, test out your gear and test out your setup and test out your fitness. And if you have to bail, I mean, I thought about it last night. I'm like, oh, even at site H, I could have made it back to the car in like 2 hours if I really needed to. And I could have figured out how to get out of here. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. It was a great experience. I do not know why it's called Lost Maples, though. I didn't see any maple trees, which maybe that's why it's called Lost Maples. All right, see you later. Bye.